South Korea and the United States have agreed to postpone the transfer of wartime operational control again to be reconsidered sometime in the mid-2020s. Chairman Kim Moo-sung of the ruling Saenuri Party has tabled a bill to reform the public employee pension system. And 2 Guinean nationals who arrived to attend a conference were turned away at the airport and sent back home over Ebola fears. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Friday, October 24th. I'm Luke Clary. We begin with a report that South Korea and the United States have agreed to postpone the transfer of wartime operational control until the Korean military is ready to counter North Korea's nuclear and missile threats on its own. The two sides will decide on the matter again in the mid-2020s.
The South Korean and American defense ministers have concluded a memorandum of understanding. This agrees to postpone the transfer of wartime operational control to the Korean military authority. Subsequently, the bilateral agreement, which set December 1st of 2015 as the date of transfer, has been made null and void. This time, the two allies have not fixed a specific date for the transfer. Instead, they said the transfer would take place when the conditions are ready. South Korea and the U.S. stated that the first condition for the transfer would be the Korean military to have the critical military capabilities to lead joint defense efforts. They also agreed that South Korean armed forces should be able to counter North Korean nuclear and missile threats in the early stages of provocations or war. The two parties have set the mid-2020s as the time when the South Korean military would be ready to respond to North Korea on its own. A specific date of transfer would be decided again at that time. Meanwhile, the South Korean and American military authorities have decided not to disclose the latest MOU and auxiliary documents.
After years of discussions about relocating, South Korea and the United States have agreed to keep the U.S. 210th Fires Brigade and a headquarters of the ROK U.S. Combined Forces Command in their current locations for now.
The 210th Fires Brigade of the U.S. forces stationed in Korea is responsible for neutralizing North Korean long-range firearms in times of war. The brigade operates multiple rockets and the Army tactical missile system. The National Defense Chiefs of South Korea and the United States have agreed to keep the brigade in its current location, Camp Casey in Dongducheon. They said that if the brigade were to be relocated to Pyeongtaek, its response in times of war would be too delayed and unable to discourage the North Korean Army early on. However, the other camps located in Dongducheon, such as Camp Hovey and Camp Mobile, as well as the headquarters of the 2nd Infantry Division based in Uijeongbu, will be relocated to Pyeongtaek by 2016 as scheduled. Seoul and Washington also agreed to keep the headquarters of the ROK U.S. Combined Forces Command in Yongsan. As was already agreed upon in 2004, the U.S. Embassy to Korea, the Dragon Hill Hotel, a helicopter station, and the command headquarters in the area of the main post will remain in their current locations. An official from the Ministry of National Defense said the U.S. forces stationed in Korea will most likely continue to use about 10% of their current area in Yongsan. The decision is expected to draw opposition from local governments that plan to use the former sites of U.S. Army bases in Yongsan and Dongducheon.
Chairman Kim Moo-sung of the ruling Saenuri Party has decided to table a bill to reform the public employee pension system, and a task force held its first meeting to restart the legislative process. Meanwhile, the opposition camp will start its discussions on the pension reform issue after parliamentary inspections are over.
Saenuri Party Chairman Kim Moo-sung has decided to table a bill that calls for the reform of the Public Officials Pension Act. All the party and floor leaders have agreed to sign the bill. The solidarity among the party leadership indicates their strong resolve to push forth the reform plan and intention to squash any rumors of conflict between the ruling party and the presidential office.
이거는 뭐 당뿐만 아니라 당정청 박근혜 정권에서 이거 하는 겁니다. 그렇게 보시면 됩니다.
The ruling party has also launched a task force to devise a reform plan. In order to pass the reform bill by the end of this year as planned, the Saenuri Party's task force will have to speed up efforts to present the bill by next month. The team will review two plans. The one by the Korean Pension Association entails pension subscribers paying up to 43% more premiums and receiving 34% less. On the other hand, the government proposes freezing the pension amount of top recipients for 10 years. The guiding principles would be to save fiscal costs and maintain equity with the nation's pension system, as well as to give more to low-paid recipients and less to high-paid ones. But the biggest challenges are persuading the Public Employees Union and negotiating with the main opposition party. The New Politics Alliance for Democracy said that it's reviewing what they call the Pay More, Receive Less plan, but hasn't decided on a collective party opinion. The NPAD will discuss the pension reform issue immediately after the parliamentary inspection is over. Negotiations over pension reform between the two sides are likely to be rough, given the main opposition party has said it needs time to assess public opinion.
Police investigating the deadly accident in Pangyo are trying to figure out if the collapsed ventilation grate at the performance venue met safety standards. The issue was also discussed in the ongoing parliamentary inspection.
Police are investigating the entire manufacturing process of the collapsed ventilation grate, from its design to completion. They are zeroing in on whether the ventilation grate was installed in line with safety standards. Police are analyzing documents seized from the companies that installed the grate and provided materials for its construction. They have also summoned people who are responsible for designing, supervising, and installing the grate. The investigation is focusing on the manufacturing and installation processes rather than on the result, because there are no regulations in place in Korea on how to make ventilation grates. Those responsible for the accident can only be charged with negligence if there is evidence that the grate was manufactured differently from its original design or made with substandard materials. The National Assembly's Land, Infrastructure and Transport Committee also questioned safety issues regarding ventilation grates during the state audit of the Gyeonggi provincial government.
설계 자체의 이 어떤 안전의 적정성이라든지 이런 부분에 대해서 판단이 안 되는 거잖아요. 감리만 가지고는.
실질적으로 안전하게 이것을 지켜낼 수 있는 세부 설계 기준이 마련되어 있지 않았다는 겁니다.
Police will decide whether to press criminal charges regarding the shabby construction of the ventilation grate after the National Forensic Service announces the results of its investigation tomorrow.
The nation's largest research and development facility is ready for construction at Magok Industrial Complex in southwestern Seoul. President Park Geun-hye attended the groundbreaking ceremony and asked private corporations to make aggressive and bold investments.
LG Science Park, once it's built in Seoul's Magok Industrial Complex, will be the country's largest R&D facility. The park is to house research facilities for 10 LG affiliate companies, including LG Electronics and LG Chemical. Their main tasks would be to conduct integrated technology studies and develop source technologies. LG expects the industrial facilities to create 90,000 jobs annually and generate more than $22.6 billion from its production. President Park Geun-hye attended the groundbreaking ceremony and stressed that private companies should make bold investments at difficult times like now.
과거에도 우리 경제는 어려움에 처할 때마다 기업가 정신을 바탕으로 공격적인 투자와 도전을 통해 위기를 기회로 바꿔왔습니다.
She said that economic reform is possible only when the private sector shows eager participation and effort. The president also stressed that new markets, as well as new jobs, could be created only when corporate innovations take place. She also asked large conglomerates and smaller venture firms to work together so that they can grow together as a center of creative economy innovation in their respective regions.
대기업의 R&D 센터가 창조 경제를 위한 대중소기업 R&D 협력의 거점이 된다면 동반 성장 생태계는 더욱 활기차게 될 것입니다.
President Park emphasized that Korea could perform another miracle on the Han River through entrepreneurs' innovative technological developments, vigorous corporate investments, and government support.
Two Ghanaian nationals who arrived in Incheon International Airport to attend an international conference were turned away at immigration control, sent back to their country over Ebola virus concerns 6.5 hours later.
The two Guinea nationals arrived in Korea at 5:17 p.m. yesterday. They came to represent Guinea in the International Telecommunication Union Plenipotentiary Conference. Guinea initially notified Korea that its delegation would not attend the conference because Guinea is among the countries hit by Ebola.
두 명은 이를 모른 채 입국했다. 그렇게 확인이 됐습니다.
The two representatives had to return to Guinea at 11:55 p.m. yesterday after receiving notification from the government saying they were not supposed to attend the conference. Officials from the Korea Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said they examined the two passengers at the airport but found no abnormal symptoms.
체온은 한 36.5로 6도로 아주 지극히 건강하였습니다. 검사 모든 게 다 끝나고 난 다음에 본인들의 의사를 확인을 해서 자진 출국을 하게 된 것입니다.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said it didn't examine other passengers who arrived on the same flight because the two Guinea nationals didn't have any suspicious symptoms, such as a high fever.
이 두 사람만 관광관실에 데리고 가서 관광을 한 거지요. 다른 승객들은 없었어요. 다 그냥 나간 거고요.
Of the 24 people who arrived in Korea from Ebola-hit nations since last August, 19 were confirmed to have shown no signs of Ebola during the incubation period of the disease, while the remaining 5 are still being monitored.
High definition and clarity, the standard pursued by ever-developing visual media. In cinema, the competition is getting fiercer for higher definition, and the industry is moving quickly to deliver the best screen quality possible.
This movie theater just opened this month. It has one of the largest movie screens in the world. The picture quality here is at least 2 times clearer than in existing cinemas.
화면이 크고 밝아서 배우들의 표정을 더 섬세하게 잘 볼 수 있었어요.
The secret lies in the equipment and method of projection. There are 4 cine projectors installed here, double that of other theaters. The projectors are also twice as advanced as ones regularly found elsewhere.
똑같은 화면을 똑같이 4대가 연속적으로 투사를 하기 때문에 화면이 선명해지면서
This theater is also becoming known as a beloved venue for fans of IMAX. There are only 2 projectors installed, but they've been specially designed. Also, the seats have been angled so that films can clearly be seen from anywhere in the theater. Films screened here are in their initial production stages and will be made to fit this theater system. Thus, the movies will be able to deliver double the picture quality than elsewhere in the country.
일반 영화 예매율이 40에서 50% 정도라고 하면 IMAX 영화는 80에서 90% 정도에 달합니다.
The cinemas have taken on a battle in high definition, and this can only turn out well for moviegoers.
Singer Sung Shi-kyung, known for his sweet, mellow ballads, will hold a nationwide tour after a long time away from the stage. Ticket sales began Thursday, and news is they sold out immediately. Here's more in our Culture News Roundup.
The Prince of Ballads singer Sung Shi-kyung will hold his first nationwide tour in 2 years. He remains as popular as ever as ticket sales that began Thursday sold out almost immediately. His concert tour will begin December 5th. The girl group Crayon Pop's hit song "Pa Pa Pa" was featured in a U.S. TV series. The group's management agency announced that the song was featured in the ABC network's comedy series Selfie. "Pa Pa Pa" was played for about 20 seconds in the show, while a lead actor even showcased the Korean girl group's signature dance move. A domestic music portal site will unveil via streaming songs of John Lennon, a member of the legendary Beatles. The songs are from a digitally remastered John Lennon album collection. The album was released by his widow Yoko Ono in 2010 to celebrate Lennon's 70th birthday.
Massaging devices come in great variety these days, and today we're taking a look at the effects of various massagers and how to choose the right one.
After driving long distances, traveling, or entertaining visitors at home, many people feel tired and even develop body aches.
허리도 아프고 음식 차리느라고 팔도 아프고 그냥 온 천지가 쑤시지. 집에서 그냥 치료기로 그냥 찜질 같은 거 하고 그러지 뭐.
운전을 하느라고 허리가 좀 많이 아팠습니다만 파스 같은 거 사가지고 붙이고만 그랬습니다. 뭐 와이프가 많이 그리고 뭐 마사지 같은 걸 해줘가지고요.
The first thing that often comes to mind as a way to relieve fatigue is a massager. Consumers these days can choose from a wide variety of massagers, from massaging chairs to wearable massagers, and those specially designed for legs and feet. Leg massagers are especially popular among women.
이제 우리가 근육이 뭉치게 되면 혈액순환이 안 되니까 꾹꾹꾹 눌러주면서 혈액순환 자체를 좋아지게 하는 그런 효과가 있다고 보는 거죠.
We compared changes in the body temperature before and after using a shoulder massager for 20 minutes. The difference is obvious.
여기 보시면은 지금 빨갛고 여기 붉은스러운 게 이게 혈액순환이 되고 있다는 얘기예요. 그러니까 지금 하기 전에는 혈액순환 자체가 덜 됐었는데 여기 하고 나시고 혈액순환이 좀 좋아지고 있다는 얘기예요.
It's also important to massage the right body part to get rid of pain. If you have pain and tight muscles in the back, it's important to massage the protruding area where your back meets the hips.
가장 돌출된 부위에서 행사선으로 보시면 됩니다.
To relieve stiff muscles in the shoulders, massage the protruding cervical vertebrae. When massaging the calves, use upward and downward movements.
이 라인에 따라서 이 근육들을 전체적으로 풀어주시는 것도 많은 도움이 되십니다.
People who have certain health problems should take extra caution when using a massager.
디스크라고 위한 추간판 탈출증, 외부 압력이 들어감으로 인해 가지고 생기는 경우도 있거든요. 그래서 디스크를 진단을 받았던 환자들 같은 경우에는 안마를 하거나 할 때 좀 조심스럽게 하는 게 좋을 겁니다. 안마를 받고 나서 오히려 하기 전보다 더 아프다든지 어떤 새로운 증상이 나타나면 그거는 안마 효과가 떨어지는 거기 때문에 그런 경우에는 안마 받는 시간이라든지 강도 자체를 줄이는 게 그게 더 효과적입니다.
When using a massager, follow the directions accurately. Start using it once or twice a day with low vibration and increase it gradually. Don't use it for more than 20 minutes at a time. Also, avoid using a massager on bare skin as it can cause irritation. Wrap the massage body part in a blanket to reduce electromagnetic waves. Using the right massager, you can easily relieve your fatigue and pain.
Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.